Hello guys and welcome back to Sonic Labs, and today I'll be showing you how I made this epic Jackie style drop inspired by Skrillex, Diplo and many other artists that are involved in this type of music. And to be honest, I was inspired by many different musical genres while making this track. So I incorporated all those ideas into it. So let's just see how I made it. So first of all, for the intro, I have this vinyl crackling sound. So this is what Skrillex uses a lot. And I also added this water drop sound just randomly. Next, I found this vocal sample and I processed it completely. So before it was sounding like this,
When I go down,
and after it was like this.
when I go down, you will fall with me.
So I automated the mix of the Valhalla delay to get clarity while the singer is singing. So that's a good way to keep your vocals clean. And yes, I have made a vocal mixing tutorial previously. So if you want to know like how to process your vocals, what kind of vocal chains you should be using, then do check it out. I'll put down the link in the description. So after watching this video, you can check that out. So next I have this pluck. It's just a simple sine wave with some effects going on. And then for the transition I used this ambient riser along with this white noise sweep. So with that we transition into the bridge of the track. This is the bridge part. So first of all, I introduced these chords, and this is also made in Serum. They are just normal saw wave chords. So, and I added this Reese bass. Yeah, and one more thing, I added this new pluck sound, and this too is also made in Serum. It's just a sine wave with some distortion, OTT, hyperdimension, reverb, all sorts of effects. Next, we have our vocal saying the same thing again, and I have this small reverse symbol to just keep the thing going. Now we'll proceed to the build up. So what I did is I looped one part of the vocal in this way, and I increased the rate as we were going towards the drop. Also I increased the delay automation, like delay mix, and I put a really wet reverb on it. So I also like slowly faded in the reverb mix, so at the end it was completely washed out. And I added this sweep. It's really long, so it begins in the bridge only. Next, I got a bit lazy and I just use a build up loop, drum build up loop. So yeah, and to just get rid of the bass frequencies, I just automated the raise bass's volume, and I just took it to like 0, so our drop can hit with all the energy it has. So yeah, now let's get into the drop, the main part. So the main vocal melody is this one. It sounds like this. So it was sounding like this before processing. So I just added some distortion at first. Then I just took it an octave up with Little Altar Boy. So the Little Altar Boy is making the difference, all the difference that it has. Next, I have this FM short. It repeats twice in this entire drop at the same time, and this is what Skrillex uses a lot of times, and it's not that difficult to make. It's just a sine wave which is FM'd with another sine wave, and you just mess around with octaves and modulate the FM so you can get this sound. Next, for some ambience, I just took the original vocal sample, added this volume automation for the beating effect, and this automation to pan it left and right.
With me, with me, with me.
So it is throughout the entire drop. Next, we have the bass. So I only used two things. There's a bass, mid bass, and a sub bass. So this is how the mid bass sounds like. So it's just a wavetable with some distortion and OTT, and combined with the sub bass, I modulated the volume of the sub bass and some distortion and OTT again. Next, we have our drums. So for the drums, I used this kick. It's really loud. Actually, it's clipping, but it was sounding good in the track, so I just used it. Next, for the snares, I have two samples. This one is a metallic tonal snare, and this one is a regular trap snare. I just panned it a little bit, and this one to the left. And on the every second snare hit, I added this percussion just before the snare, and it's panned to the left. So this is how it sounds. So it just adds that really nice groove to the beat. Next, I have this shaker, and these hi-hats, just there's nothing complicated about this drum beat. For the next half, I just used only kicks, and I used the same shaker sample and I stretched it to half its length so it gets faster, and I slowly panned it from right to left. And for the other half of the second drop, I just continued with the same kick snare beat, but this time I also used this faster shaker loop, and I added some crashes, and I also increased the hi-hats speed, and I added this roll in between to just make things groovy. And at the end, I just ended the drop with this simple sweep and a vocal automation, a vocal reverb automation. Oh yeah, and this is the most important thing, the tropical fill. So without this, your Jack drop is incomplete, so this is a must. So that's it. That's how I made it. Now you can just enjoy the entire track. And if you want the project file, there's a link in the description. You can get it for free. And please like the video if you liked it, and consider subscribing to this channel for more such content in future. And now let's listen to it.
When I